I have so much resilience in me. When you tell me I can't do something, I promise you that I will. And I've always been that way. Every time I've had adversity staring me right in the face, basically saying it's impossible, I find a way where it becomes possible. But that also comes down to my faith. Like I believe in God, and there's been trying times, and I'll tell you one thing, every single time a door's closed, a relationship's ended, I got told no, something better came from the situation. And I always sort of felt that there was this sort of favor and protection over me, I guess you could say, where God's always directed me in the right direction. Mm-hmm. Every time something felt wrong, I went with what I felt. I never questioned it. I don't try to go around it. If it doesn't feel right, I'm not doing it. And because of that, I sort of found myself always on the path or near the path that I should be on. I know no one's perfect. Everyone sort of strays here and there, but overall, I don't think I've ever fallen too far away from the road I'm supposed to be on. But I credit that down to my faith, because when there were those trying times, I really listened to like the inner voice, the spirit to tell me and lead me in the right direction. There was one time I remember I was about $500 short in rent. It was due the next day. I was a waitress, and I know that on average we make about $300 a day, but it was never like $500, $600. Like it just didn't happen with where I was working.
Right, in tips.
Yeah, in tips. So I was like, I don't know how I'm going to do this. I'm going to be late on my rent. What am I going to do? I'm in this really bad position. And every time I'm very specific with what I ask for, I always manage to get it straight down to the number, right? Mm-hmm. It's so funny because when I prayed really, really hard. I was literally probably the one memory I can look back on and recall that aha moment with myself. Mm-hmm. And I was crying, and I said to God, there's anger and frustration and confusion and everything in me. And I said, if I'm not supposed to be moving in this direction, if I'm not supposed to be trying to act, doing print work, if this is the wrong field, could you just tell me? Because I don't want to waste my time.
You have a conversation with God.
Yeah, I'm literally I'm frustrated now, because I'm thinking I get it. They say it takes 10 years to be an overnight success. But this is just getting ridiculous now. I'm feeling completely hopeless, and I'm now asking for that. And I'm not going to say it was words in my ear. It was like this saying popped into my head. It was definitely a spiritual moment, because I'll always remember this quote, and it popped into my head. Again, it wasn't some voice in my ear, but it was and I wrote it down immediately because I knew I was going to forget. Mm-hmm. And what it said was, dreams are fulfilled to those who remain loyal to their craft, and disloyal to those who fall short of the determination.
Yes, I read this quote when I was doing a research on you, and I also found it very wow, those are some strong words, and honestly, it's those words are not from our time. It's just.
But it's it basically it says it's up to you. There is, again, it's life. We're given the option of choice. Do you know what I mean? We can choose our destiny. What do you want to do? It said dreams are fulfilled to those who remain loyal to their craft. So do you want it? Then remain loyal to it. If you believe in yourself, then keep doing it. If you really think you got it, keep going. Mm-hmm. And so that still gives me chills when I think about it, because that was not me. That was not a quote I came up with. It was something that came into my head in the very moment that I was on my knees praying in tears. So I've always applied that to everything I do. As long as I remain loyal to what I'm doing, and I'm passionate about what I'm doing, and I believe in what I'm doing, I'm not unrealistic with my beliefs or my demands either. Very realistic, in fact, that I believe that we can achieve anything we set our minds out to. And I remember that night I had to work.
Just
And I
quick.
remember being like, I swear, I can't even remember the specific dollar. Let's just say $503 short on rent. By the time I finished my shift, I had some big time tippers come in, and I ended up making the exact to the dollar after I tipped out the bar back and the bar
Right, you have to spread
I
the
walked home with the exact amount that I was short on rent. And I swear to you, that's why I always joke and say, be very specific with what you want in life, because you will get it. But are you ready for it? Is it something that you
right.
know that you're ready for, ready to tackle? And in this case, if it's something that you really need, like I need a new car, be specific about what kind of car, because you could say I want a new car and get the car you never wanted, but you got a car. So it's sort of like it's a lesson in that. So with that said, I've always applied all of that to my life.
So Michelle,
And
you're always open with your religion, and you said that your favorite book is Bible, and you share Bible quotes on your social media,
yeah,
eh, which is not really a popular trend nowadays, especially in California, for example, in the show business. Is that something that you sort of were you always that open about your religious beliefs?
yeah. Look, I'm not perfect by any means necessary. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and pretend to be like I'm the perfect example of what you would call a Christian. But I'm I'm loyal in the sense of I believe what I believe, and I'm not going to lie about it because it makes someone else uncomfortable or it's taboo. I am who I am, authentically 100%. What you see in the interviews, the personality you see, that's exactly who I am when I get off camera. Do you know what I mean? Because I've tried to apply the authenticity across the board in my life. You either love me or hate me, it does not matter. I am who I am. So I do get people who will DM me and say, "Oh, God's not real," and this. I don't care what you think.
Hmm.
I'm sharing what I believe and what I feel in the moment. If I felt inspired to share a quote, if I felt inspired to share a Bible verse, then I'm going to do it. And I don't hold any shame to that. And I don't think anybody should. You should be who you are. And again, I have friends who are atheists, Muslim, Mormon, Jehovah Witness, you name it, Catholic. Uh, I don't I don't look at them any differently because they pray differently or they do or don't believe in the same God as I do. I don't care. I embrace the different cultures and mentalities of everybody. But not everyone has that same mentality in return. They're very judgmental and they want to kind of keep you in a box.